Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I'm Moses by name and I'm a software engineer based here in Lagos, Nigeria. And in today's video, I'm going to take a look at hustle culture, right? From my own understanding and experiences, right? So what is hustle culture? In today's standard, hustle culture can be defined as a state of overworking to the point whereby it becomes a lifestyle. Like, there's not a day in your life whereby you're not exerting yourself to your utmost ability and therefore having no time for a personal life. The truth is that hustle culture is actually deeply rooted in the structure of many businesses and the lifestyles of many individuals around us, even people that we actually respect and that we look up to. Especially here in Nigeria, whereby as a third world country, like, it's being considered like a way of life, right? Whereby you must hustle to actually get whatever you want. Like, it's a non-ending loop. But does hustling actually bring you the results that you need? Now, many people actually see the effects of hustle culture as a first world problem, right? But that doesn't actually take away from the issue because it affects everybody in all social classes. Now, I'm not saying that hustle culture is bad, okay? It's a process by which you are trying to get whatever you want in life. But it's not exactly a very good idea to have yourself working and overworking yourself to death just because you want to actually get something, right? And there are so many issues that are brought up by hustle culture. And in the next few seconds, we're going to actually check out most of these issues. And we're going to take a look at how we can actually mitigate some of those effects in our life. The first one that actually comes to mind is hustle culture and health. Okay, now hustle culture has such a debilitating effect on the physical health of the person that's actually engaged in that pattern of life. Like, from sleep deprivation to active insomnia and eating disorders and so many other issues like that. It actually has such an effect on the person that's actually passing it. I'm not saying that hustle culture causes this things, right? But it has an effect on the person passing it that's such that they tend to actually develop these kind of issues. And the funny thing is that most of the people that are actually practicing this hustle culture mentality sometimes actually find some kind of pleasure in and pride really in actually being able to see that they haven't eaten for a while, or they haven't actually had their bath, or they had to work so hours to actually get something done. And really, it's just such a counterintuitive way of thinking, and it causes a lot of problems in the long run because you can't actually function as a human being without doing the basic things that need to be done. The second point to this note will be hustle culture and its influence on fulfillment. Now, fulfillment in life really doesn't always come from just work, right? Actually, they come from the experiences you have around with the people around you, right? Life is about people. It's about the experience that you have with people around you, and not just your career and just your job, right? Building better friendships, building better relationships, which actually go on to actually extend more into the later stages of your life. From experience, I can really say that the experience matters more, right? Because earlier when I started my career, yes, hustle culture mentality was important. It is important to actually have you get through the initial phases, right? But there are periods whereby you have to take a step back and actually relax, calm down, mingle with people around you to actually get a vibe of where you're actually trying to get to, because sometimes you're just trying to go nowhere too fast. And this really beats into my third point, which is hustle culture and community. Now, many people who actually find themselves engaged so much in hustle culture often feel like as if they have to disregard the communities around them, the communities that can actually help them grow as human beings and actually get to where they need to get to with respect to ideas and relationships. Like, they often find themselves so much engaged in work that they avoid communities and they push people off from them, which in this case can be termed as social suicide. So thirdly is the idea of hustle culture and its effects on creativity, right? Now, many people don't really think that hustle culture actually affects creativity. I mean, hustle culture is you forcing yourself to work and to actually get things done, but it has no correlation to creativity. As much as one would like to believe that hustle culture actually improves creativity, no, it does the opposite. It destroys creativity. I mean, it stops it and breaks it, and then you are too tired to think because you are too tired to think as good and as well as you will love to. And the same goes for your productivity. Hustle culture destroys that too. Now, it's a well-known fact that overworking yourself actually breaks your productivity muscle. It forces you to become incompetent in many areas because you can't actually produce as much as you would love to. You have reached the point of diminishing return. This is why the idea of cycles actually come into play. I mean, like, everything should be done in moderation. right? And cycles actually help you get that motivation into play. So yeah, let's think about cycles for a while. It's a well-known fact that actually life operates in cycles, night and day, seasons and period. And it's a good idea to actually introduce such concepts into your life and into your own routines. In fact, learn to actually hustle only during the hustle periods and avoid work actually constraining on the other times, on the other time periods that you have, right? Get a hobby. And when it comes to work, one good example is to never constrain yourself to just one working pattern, right? Actually find a way to actually test out different routines and find out what you're actually comfortable with. And then when you find it, stick to it. You can do work within work time, and that itself is a skill. Overworking yourself and actually like trying to work around the entire clock, it won't get you anywhere really. You might get more money or more funds, but your health takes a toll, and that is very, very important. You have no idea. In fact, you should actually endeavor to actually live a more deliberate life, right? Where you actually have a more deliberate use for your time to actually make sure that you actually get things done when they're supposed to be done, so you can actually have the rest of the time for yourself. Personal time is actually very, very important, and as of late I started incorporating that into the things I actually do here at home, and it has actually helped me advance a bit more further than I actually thought I would, just by overworking and over constraining myself, right? It clears up your mental space for you to actually be able to like move freely and get things done. Even more, I would say that hustle culture is not the right word for it, right? Although yeah, it's what everybody has come to actually understand, but I think there's a movement for a better work-life balance. I mean, people think that okay, you have to make work life. Yes, that is actually very important, but that is not how you do it. You don't make work life by just overworking yourself. You have to actually find ways to make your work enjoyable for yourself. I like making videos. It's more or less my hobby at this point. I don't see it as work, and it's a fun experience to actually be able to set up spaces like this and then have this idea to actually film or make a particular video about a particular idea that I cherish, right? So things like that. Find a way to make your work more fun for you. And if you are looking to do that, consult with your boss or whoever is in charge, right? Have them figure out ways to actually make it easier for you to do what you're supposed to do. Because many times we're just doing things redundantly, and in the end, have you ever worked on something in which somebody did not use at the end of the project? It's always a very bad experience, and that is what happens when you don't really put a lot of thought into what you're actually doing, essentially not doing it, but is this important, is this necessary, what are the rules of engagement with reference to this, what is this priority, right? So with that, I think I'm at the end of this particular video, just exploring the ideas with related to this. Just exploring the ideas related to this hustle culture thing. If you have any other ideas you would like to actually let us know, right? So just put them in the comments down below. I'm testing out different spaces for filming my video set, and this was one of the topics that I actually wanted to talk about. So with that said, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.